Welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program. This is episode 3 now. When you left us at the end of episode 2, we had just started generating blue cubes. Blue cubes being the electromagnetic matrix, which we need to start doing a further technology tree research. I've left the game running a little bit in the background whilst I was doing stuff between episodes. And as you can see, we've got 167 blue ready to go. This is going to mean that we can get into some new research. Now, to help speed up the research a bit, I want to make another matrix lab, because we can use the matrix labs to do research for us. In fact, let's make 3. 3 sounds like a good number. So I'm having to replicate some of these because I forgot to pick them out of the storage. I'll do that now, so we've got some on hand ready for the next thing I want to make, whatever that will be. And we're running low on iron in inventory, so we'll grab a stack of that as well. If you notice over here, we've got stuff backing up because our iron was full. Like I say, there's research we can do that will let us stack storages or make bigger storages, so we'll have some of that going on a bit later. Alright, matrix labs. For now, we will just drop them here. Here seems fine. And we can build those 4 high, I think, to start with. So we'll put 3 of them there for now. Add in a conveyor. A couple of them. And now you can see we've got our recipe thing flashing on the matrix labs. As I mentioned last time, you can either select the matrix lab to produce a matrix or to do research. So we're going to set this block of 3, because it's done in blocks. You set an entire block of them to do the same thing as research. So when we do research, instead of just getting the 60 hashes a second from our suit, we're now going to be getting all these hashes from the 3 matrix labs together. Right, so let's do some research. What have we got? Fluid storage. We don't really need that yet. We're not doing anything with fluid, so we can put that off for a little bit. High efficiency plasma control. We're not doing anything that needs these 3 things yet. Although the wireless power tower, which will enable our suit to charge wirelessly when you're standing very close to it, would come in handy. And electromagnetic drive, which is something that we're definitely going to be needing. We're not quite there yet. What have we got up here? Improved logistics system. I'm going to actually jump on this one first. That will give us a splitter, which lets us split the directions a feed from a conveyor goes, but it'll also give us faster sorters, which is actually going to come in very handy, especially on that one where we've got to pass over 2 lanes. Right, as well as that, what else have we got? Smelting purification. That unlocks us making silicon ore from stone, and we're going to need a lot of silicon ore. The only way for us to get it initially on this planet, and I will double check that, Ep.2, we haven't got the planetary logistics yet, so we don't know, but I'm pretty sure there's very little silicon ore. So let's get this upgrade queued. It's 10 cubes. In fact, let's just get on and get that done, because that will help us immensely, and we can enqueue this after that upgrade. There we go. Universe exploration level 1 complete. It took no time.
The universe exploration. Now you can click the details display button in the lower right corner of the screen. to open real-time distribution details of the ore veins.
So there you go, we can now put this overlay on, which lets us see all the veins on the planet and lets us see this overview up here. As you can see, silicon ore, nothing, titanium ore, nothing. We've got neither of those on our starting planet, so the only way for us to get those is to go off planet, but we're a little way away from that yet. Right. Okay, so we're also doing the research for improved logistics, which will be finishing up any second. As you can see, adding those matrix labs has really helped speed up how much research we can get done. And we're flying through them. This will slow down a lot as you get on and things go from needing 18k hashes to 54k and everything slows down. Luckily there is an upgrade you can do to speed up that because it gets a lot slower. Right, the next thing I think we're going to want is maybe thermal power. This unlocks the thermal power station, which will take any fuel and make power for us, which can be a bit more reliable than just the wind energy. Wind energy producing several hundred kilowatts. These thermal power stations doing 2 megawatts. So much better. And we should have enough left to get some upgrades done. So we got a drive engine. What were we going to need for drive engine 2? We're going to need well, hey, research done, thermal power stations. We'll get some of them going, but I just want to get something else in the queue. So we're going to need mecha core level 2, which is this one here, which we're not ready for yet because that needs red and we haven't got red. Communication control. Another drone would be handy. We haven't got enough cubes to do the drone engine. We haven't got we haven't got the energetic graphite. So let's do the, what was it, smelting purification? That will unlock the energetic graphite, which we're going to need. And we'll just activate that. And if we look back here, yeah, we've got enough for this. If we didn't have enough, this would just stop progressing when we run out and carry on going as we made more. So over queuing research isn't in itself a problem, it just helps keep things flowing. Right, so this is still processing, that's fine. Have we got any problems yet? How's the power situation looking? Still got 100% satisfaction, although it is spiking up to being pretty close. But we've now got thermal power stations, so let's fly over to our coal. And what we can do, we can put some thermal power stations on this, which will start generating a lot more power for us. Just grab some titanium as it was there. And we're going to come out this way with the power stations. Right. Carry our conveyor on a little bit. We've got one there, so we'll just get that one in to start with. That seems good.
A thermal power station. Such power facilities need to consume chemical energy fuels. If you want it to generate continuous and stable power, you need to ensure a sufficient fuel supply at all times.
Woohoo! Research done as well, and we've unlocked the energetic graphite, silicon ore, and high purity silicon. So 2 of those are going to come from stone. Smelting stone will give us silicon ore. Smelting silicon ore will give us high purity silicon, and the energetic graphite you get from smelting coal. But as well as that, you get the energetic graphite. Yeah, no, that's right. That's the other method for doing. There's two options there for doing it. If you look down the bottom, there's two recipes. So just the smelter, you put 2 coal in, you get 1 energetic graphite out. Or there's an advanced recipe where you can give it 2 hydrogen and refined fuel and get energetic graphite and hydrogen out. Right. When we completed the research for the advanced sorters, we got 5 of them. Let's use one of them here. It will be faster than the standard one. And that'll be good, because like I said, we're going to end up with a row of these things going back. So it's going to need to keep more than one fed. And let's produce 4 more. So that will keep us going for a little bit. And whilst we're at it, we're out of stone and gears in our inventory, so we'll pick up some of them. I think we automated both of those. Yes, we did. So over here, pick up a stack of that. Pick up a stack of that. Right, happy days. Head back over here and we'll queue up some more power stations. As you can see, I'm flying. It's a little bit quicker than walking. We built? Yes, we are. Now, this is something I picked up from an update. Originally you couldn't do this, but it looks like you can feed through these now. So we'll try it. Indeed you can. You can feed through from one straight to the other. It will both input and output, which I don't believe it used to do. I think you used to have them in a line going that way off a conveyor belt. It certainly didn't work as an input and output when I first played the game like that. But that's all 5 of them running. The end one is keeping up. So how are we looking for power now? Oh, that's looking good, isn't it? We're using as little as 1/4 to 1/3 of the power we're producing. Now the thing to bear in mind is these will keep running and using your coal or whatever fuel you're putting in, even if you're not using the power. So they need to be on a reliable source. Coal is great to start with. Have we got oil on this planet? Crude oil. Yes, we have. Now, with the veins, you can see they've got these numbers after them. So, for instance, the coal veins, we've got 24 veins there, which has got a total reserve of 3.163 million. But with crude oil, there's no reserve on it. That's because the crude oil will not dry up. It will just keep coming forever. So it will be a good idea when we can later on to use the oil instead of finite resources like the coal. Right. Always got a little light around you. You can turn that off in options if you don't like it, but it does help find yourself when you're in the dark, in the night side of the planet. Okay, what do we want to do next? We've got research running. Well, we haven't at the moment, but we did have. What do we want to do next? We probably want to start working on silicon, because we are going to need that in abundance. And when you're producing it from stone, like we have to at the moment, it's a very slow process. So I think what we'll do, we'll start processing some stone into silicon ore and some silicon ore into high purity ore, and we'll get on that. To do that, we're going to need more conveyors. Perhaps we should automate conveyors as well, because that's another thing you're always going to need. And to be honest, probably just one factory for the basic conveyor will be enough. So it's an assembler recipe, I think, if I was right. Construction of conveyors. Yeah, assembler. So we haven't got any. Yes, we have. We have got some. Ignore me. I'm losing the plot. Let's have one of those. One of those. And we can come straight from that factory. But we'll also run a conveyor along just because we can. And if it starts using them faster than that makes them, then it can pull them out of storage. No, wrong way. And we're going to want to output them somewhere, so let's have yet another storage. There. And set the recipe to build conveyors. Now it's going to struggle a little bit for iron because we've only got the one smelter feed. Oh no, it is taking them off after that one. So it's just coming off there. It's not getting fed from the iron storage, which isn't necessarily a problem because we're not always going to need millions of these things. In fact, let's take it down so that it can only store, I don't know, if we got 5 stacks, that should be enough to keep us going, I think. So what I just did there, actually, I'll just explain that. Down here, you've got a capacity for automation. And what that means is this is the number of slots that's available for automatic processes. I can still come along and put other things in here, which can be taken out or used by something removing from that storage, but it can't put anything into these red slots automatically. It's worth remembering that it can take them out and use them, it cannot put into them. So when it gets to 5 slots full, it will back up its internal buffer and then just stop. We take some out and it starts going again. So it's a good way to make sure you're not producing too much of something, and it comes in dead handy later on in the game. Right, back to our silicon production. So with silicon production, it's smelters. We just so happen to have 2 of them, which is great. We'll put 2 doing the ore, and we'll make a couple more. We'll make 10 whilst we're sat here doing this. Alright, logistics, we're gonna want stone in, conveyor, silicon out, and of course, as always, we haven't got power coverage, so let's sort that out whilst we're here. Now, as you can see, this is a slow process. It's only going to produce 6 of them a minute. And I believe it uses multiple stone to do that. Let's have a look. Yeah, it takes 10 stone to produce 1 silicon ore. And it will only produce 6 a minute. So this is a slow process. And because it's having to take so many ore in, this would probably benefit from the faster sorters. That way it can pull them in quicker. And job done. Right. We are producing silicon ore. What we need to do now is smelt that into high purity silicon. So let's get our smelters. I will run another conveyor belt out, even though technically I could take it from that one. If we run another one out of the storage, like I've mentioned before, I like to have everything going into and out of storages if possible. It just helps create that breathing space when needed. And that can come up to there. Storage. And a sorter. And we want to pick a recipe which will be high purity silicon. So now that's producing high purity silicon, which is going in this storage. And we want another smelter. Although I don't know that... Yeah, I think we want a couple more doing this part up here first. Because that can produce 30 a minute. But this can only produce 6 a minute. So it can take 5 of these to feed one of these. This is why it's important to start importing your silicon ore as soon as possible from another planet. Also, I'm not sure that we're producing stone fast enough, so we might need to put another mining machine on. That's backing up, so if that's backing up, then that will stop taking it. We should just about keep up for now. But we do need to put some more on here. So yeah, we're going to need another miner as well. Like I mentioned, this is all a case of balancing supply and demand all the time. As you start producing more things, you start running into needing more things earlier in the chain. Grab a couple of stacks of that. How are we doing for iron? Yeah, not a lot of iron on us. Let's grab a couple of stacks of that. And whilst we're here, we'll pick up more conveyors, because we are forever using them. At some point I'm going to have to automate sorters as well. Alright, production smelters. 1, 2. Copy that recipe over, so that should all be going right. Miners. We told it to build 3. Let's get these placed. Again, we want to try and cover as many veins as possible. The more we cover, the faster it produces. And again, power. As you can see, it's so much faster when you've got all the base ingredients in. Especially if you're producing, say, 10 of them. Because otherwise it will produce 10 of all the base ingredients before it produces the first item. So it can be quite a long wait for it to do something if you haven't got the base ingredients and you're producing lots of something. So we can just run this over here and join it up there. Now this is one of the quirks with conveyors that it took me a while to fully understand, because you can join conveyors up and where they're both putting stuff in like that, they'll quite happily join up. But if you try and take them off, then you've got a problem. It will redirect it with the conveyor belt. It won't join them up and you can't just do that. You have to use a, what was it called, a splitter. Otherwise you'll just have the conveyor going to one place, not 2 lines. Splitter's a dead handy thing. Right, and I think we can get one more of these in there. And if I take this one off that side, copy the recipe over, and then this one will keep running and it'll just pull the extra off there. So it means that it isn't interrupting the feed to the next one down the line as much as if I'd just taken it off the side there. Right, that should hopefully, with 5 of those there, keep up with this one here. Not yet. Oh, is this another one of those recipes where it takes multiples to produce it? Yes, it is. So it takes 2 of those to produce 1 high purity silicon. So theoretically, it takes 10 of these to keep up with one of these. Right, we're not going to worry about that for now. We are producing enough to get going. Later on, when we can get off planet and import this stuff, which is quite a way away, then we'll be able to turn around and do away with a lot of this chain and repurpose these so that they're not producing silicon ore. Right. Progress. How many blue cubes have we got? Oh, hundreds of them. Let's just go over here away from all the noise a minute. Somewhere a bit quieter so we can think. And let's talk research. We've got 400 blue cubes, so that gives us the option to do quite a few things. We could easily do that. We could easily do that. Solar collection. We could even do solar collection. That would be good because we could then produce solar cells, which obviously don't need any fuel, but they need to be in the sun. So what you see a lot of people do is actually run solar cells all the way around their equator so that they're constantly getting power. That is a possibility. It's personally, I think I'll skip solar and we'll do something else later on instead. Like probably go for the solar sails and ray receiver or something and just keep using solid fuels until then, and wind power. Right, still steel smelting. We've already seen recipes that need this, so let's activate that one. We can get that one going. What I think we're gonna do, I'm just gonna, even though we don't really need this just yet, I'm just gonna enqueue all these, and that's then all the first level done on our tech tree. And that starts to open up some other things. So this is still coming soon. That lets us do plasma extract refining, magnetic levitation technology, and there's red. So we're going to need to get through plasma extract refine, high efficiency plasma control, plasma extract refining, fluid storage to get to unlocking red. Right, so we've got a fair way to go for red. Any other upgrades that we like the look of yet? Faster building, that sounds good to me. Let's do the +1 drone. And veins utilization, no, we can't do that yet. Vertical construction we can't do. Both of those need red, and we haven't got red yet. That needs red. That needs motors, which we're not making yet. Communication control, that's queued. Energy circuit, we need to start making this energetic graphite first. Drone engine, okay. That's some technology queued. Well, hey! Research complete, steel smelting. We can start producing steel now, which we needed for one of these other items. Can't remember which one it was. That one. We need to produce steel before we can unlock the inventory capacity. So that's going to be a good one to do. So what's steel need? Steel needs smelting of 3 iron into 1 steel. Right. Let's see how we're doing on that front. How's our iron doing? What's the iron situation like? Right, that's downgraded. Why? It's working. It covers 6 veins. Well, hey! Research complete. Fluid storage encapsulation. So that allows fluid transport with conveyor belts and or can also store excess fluid in a large capacity storage tank. Each tank can hold up to 10,000. Job done. Okay, so that is flashing up, which normally means it's down-rated for some reason. Either it's not covering enough veins or it's not got enough power, but it seems to cover 6 veins and have 100% power. So I'm not sure what it's complaining about. That's all the veins we've got here. Let's have a look at the planetary view, see if we've got any more veins close that we can bring in. And there we go. Research result. We've mastered plasma control technology. You can now build wireless power tower, which will allow longer distance remote power transmission than the Tesla towers do. And it will also charge us as long as we're standing right next to it. You can continue to study crude oil extraction and refining based on this technology. Cool, so we keep that up and we'll be able to extract oil. Okay, if we look over here, we've got more iron veins. I think what we'll do, because this is starting to go a bit slow now, well, hey, research complete. It isn't always this quick. It honestly isn't, but we're making the most of fast early game research. Let's put miners on this iron and pipe that over to where we've already got iron processing going on. Let's have... Build me 10 of them. Theoretically, we could actually just start a new line here for iron. That might be a good idea, actually. Produce the iron over here and then just just transport the completed iron back over there. Right, how many of these can we cover? Can't build it there. Well, hey! Research result, extra construction drone. So that was one of our upgrades. We got one thing left in the queue, which will be done soon. That'll do. And over here. That will do. And then over here. That will do. So between the three of them, that's all those veins covered. This will be good. Let's see. Let's make a couple of these wireless power towers. Now that we can, we'll drop a Tesla tower there and there. And then we'll use a wireless power tower to link the two things together. As you can see, that's quite happy to link them up. So that's brought, or once it's built, that's brought all of these onto our
a
grid.
wireless power tower, which is suitable with long-distance power transmission caused by its longer connection distance. What's exciting is that it can also charge Mecha by using electricity from the grid.
Cool. So we can now stand by this, and the little blue flash is there. If I take this out, oh, we've got a lot of fuel there, so there we go. Use some power. Land. And if you watch when we land, see that blue flashing? Well, hey, there's the last of our research complete. See that little blue lightning? That's it charging us up. And our suit's full again. As you can see though, it's only got a small area of influence, so you need to be standing in that blue circle to charge up. Well, that's our research queue done. That's wireless power created. We've got more veins here ready to go. I think that's a good place to wrap up. The last episode went a bit long, so I don't want to be going too long again on this one. And we'll call that an episode. When you join us next time, we'll get these machines all linked up and produce iron over here before shipping completed iron back over. And then we'll see what we can do with research next. Who knows? Next episode, we may be able to start producing red cubes, or we may go another route for next episode. Either way, come back next time and we'll find out what we do.